So Jinwoo collects the 10,000 demon souls he needs and completes the first part of the dungeon. But since he tired as shit, he just takes his rewards instead of trying to continue right now. He got a key to an unknown dungeon, just question marks everywhere. He got 20 bonus points, which he just added to his intelligence. His final reward was a blueprint to the holy water of life. As it cuts back to the real world and this building is on fire, they got firefighters on the scene trying to handle the situation. People are saying that 2 S-rank hunters got into a fight, but if that's the case, then they're lucky that only this was the damage. He says that's right, the damage was so little because the victory was overwhelming. Nigga Hwang Dong-soo got his ass whooped by Jinwoo's dad. ETA, belt to ass. And it cuts to Jinwoo visiting his mom in the hospital, and he sits down next to her thinking about what he has to do. He hasn't found the last piece to the set the bosses dropped. It's obvious where it is, on the very upper floors of the demon's castle. That's probably where the final boss is going to be. The final piece he needs to craft the holy water of life. And now that he's a S rank, he has nothing to be afraid of. He tells his mom to wait for him and that he's going to save her soon. But it cuts to the next day and he's pulling up to the Hunter Association to get re-evaluated. They got him in the system as an E rank. He just sits in the waiting room where people are making small talk. And this guy's saying there's no need to be nervous, but if you end up with a D rank or higher, all those people over there are going to try and scout you. They're all from different small guilds that just try to pick people up after an evaluation. It's better not to join them because they go on risky missions, as they can't really profit off low-ranking dungeons, but at the same time, they don't have the level of hunters to do the high-ranking dungeons. They just end up recruiting people and putting them in dangerous situations. Accidents are always frequent. And the lady calls in the next person to be evaluated as this guy comes out. But he's like, don't worry, as long as you're not an E rank, you'll have no problem putting food on the table. But that's exactly what Buddy is. Oof. She tries to call this guy in next, but he's just too nervous, so he lets Jinwoo go in before him. So he introduces himself, Sung Jinwoo, and confirms that he's being reevaluated. She's thinking like, why is it always the E ranks checking to see if they leveled up, before telling him to place his hand on this crystal and wait. Now shit start lighting up, some sounds start whirring. She like, hold up, it's an error, just try that shit again. He does, but she like, what the fuck? I ain't never seen this shit before. One more time. But the shit is just not working as the director comes back in. He's like, wait, why are you here alone? The guy that was supposed to be helping her was slacking off. He couldn't really say shit because he was doing the same thing. So he's like, hold up, what's wrong? She shows that every time he touches it, an error pops up. And this just sends him into shock. He asks her, how long have you been working here? And she says about 6 months. Did I do something wrong? But he's like, nah, this exact same thing happened 2 years ago with the hunter Shahei In. This isn't an error, it's saying he's immeasurable. Do you understand what that means? Our system is incapable of measuring his magic power. This man is South Korea's 10th S-rank hunter. Cuts to Woo Jin talking to somebody in a purple suit. He's trying to get information about who was it that cleared that red gate. Since he doesn't quite have all the details, he suspects Jinwoo, but he doesn't want to say that. He's like, you don't open your mouth until you're positive with information. I understand. Then he says he's more curious about that ant they discovered with wings. And he says it was only a corpse, but if we can confirm that they can get to the mainland without dying, actually, nah, I'm sure the guilds will gather everybody before that. He says, yeah, we're all gonna have to work together. But then they can hear a commotion going on in the building, and he says it's probably just a new hunter causing a ruckus about his rank. I'll go check it out. He's like, nah, I'll go too. I want to see what all this is about. He tells Jinwoo in front of everybody that he needs to get permission from the higher-ups to use a more precise detector. He asks him to come back in 3 days. Everybody like, what the fuck does this mean? He's an S-rank? Bro really is causing a commotion. That's when the people start to notice. The purple suit man walks in. Choi Jong-in? Apparently he's an S-rank hunter and a guild master. And he's walking right towards Jinwoo. He has the reputation of the ultimate soldier because he can delete a building with one spell. So Jinwoo's like chuckling as he walks up on him. And everybody's gathering around because these are the top dogs in the game. Woo Jin's just like, damn, he was really a S rank. Yo was just thinking I couldn't ignore that immeasurable result. But I don't need to wait 3 days for no dumbass detector. This man is a S rank, no doubt about it. So he asked Jinwoo if he has a guild in mind, trying to recruit him. Before he even finishes the sentence, I decline. Just walks right past him without saying anything else. All he's thinking about is all the shit he has to do to get the holy water of life. He asked Yo like, bro, did I forget to introduce myself just now? Or was I being too forceful? What the fuck? By the time he turned around, Jinwoo already disappeared. So he's like, damn, this nigga gotta be an assassin. As he disappears, White Tiger Guildmaster pulls up abruptly. He's got the face of someone who got caught red-handed. Choi Jong-in could tell that he must have known something all along, and he ran here full speed, sweating, trying to catch him to recruit him. It's funny because these niggas don't say a word to one another. They just think as he walks past him. He can tell that Jin Woo can't easily be won over. He's just like, damn, I was too late. And of all people to catch me, why did it have to be that nigga? As Choi Jin just leaves without saying anything. And it cuts back to Jin Woo's mom in the hospital again. He says, if I look at her, it seems like she'll open her eyes without any problem at any moment. She's been affected by the disease that broke out once the gate started appearing, something called eternal slumber that people fall into and don't wake up from. And all he can think about is saving her. He's leaving and just thinking about the dungeon to get stronger. Mr. Woo Jin is out here waiting on him. He says, you were the one who beat the monsters in the double dungeon, weren't you? Thanks to you, I was able to learn my viewpoint wasn't accurate. He's just like, we meet again. Every time I turn a corner, this nigga's right here. He says the goal of the monitoring division is to deal with humans instead of monsters. In other words, we must monitor and punish the law-breaking hunters. Jin Woo just walks past him like, I don't really want to get involved with y'all niggas. He says, bro, our existence is the only shackle on the hunters. However, it is meaningless to an S rank. For somebody who wishes to meet you, can you spare some time? He says the chairman of the Hunter Association is waiting for him. And Jin Woo looks surprised at seeing him. He just goes to shake his hand and says, Sung Jin Woo, it's nice to meet you. I'm Go Gun Hee. Old ass man surrounded in aura, Chairman Netero, Garp, this what that is right there. And they shake hands before taking a seat, but Jin Woo can tell off rip that this man is not normal. As despite being 80 years old, this man is clearly an S rank. He recognizes Jin Woo as one too, but he says he still has the re-examination. He says there really is no re-evaluation. We just made that shit up. Jin Woo's like, why? He says it's to buy us time so that we can meet with the new S rank hunters before anyone else can. Now there aren't many talented hunters like Woo Jin, who's at A rank, who would join their organization because all the other guilds promise fame and high ass salaries. This man over here strong as shit, but don't nobody know who he is because of the job he chose. Well, I'll get straight to the point. As an enterprise, we can't offer you that much money. We can help you go down a different path. Like a different path? What the fuck are you talking about? He just states it again. We'll help you flourish on a different path. This country is not currently being run by the government, but rather the hunters who protect the citizens from monsters. And the ones above them are us, the Hunter Association. And we will help you to stand shoulder to shoulder with us. But why are you offering this to me? He asks, are you aware of the top 5 guilds? These old fossils run the whole hunter situation, and if you were to join any of them, it would throw the whole shit out of balance. The whole country would get thrown into chaos because of your power. Government's authority isn't powerful enough to keep the hunters in check. That's why the Hunter Association is needed. Because monsters aren't the only monsters. Humans that fight monsters are monsters too. Oh my guy, what will be your decision? Jin Woo's just thinking like it's not a bad proposal, and anyone with the backing of the chairman will be on the road to success. Like it's hard to find a place where he doesn't have an influence. This old man really is amazing. And not only that, it's his skills as well. He can tell from his aura how powerful he is. It says even after leveling up to this point, their own skills are similar. This isn't an opportunity that comes around every day, but since he's aging and the Hunter Association is a necessity, he's gonna need a successor to inherit his position. Jin Woo says, I'm sorry. He's just like, damn, was it really about the money? But Jin Woo says, I want to fight, which catches him completely off guard. You mean you want to fight with the monsters? He says, yeah. The Hunter Association only controls leftover E and D rank dungeons, but he won't really be able to level up inside them. He tells him, I believe the place I need to be is inside the dungeon. He's just like, oh my god, this nigga's serious. He got his heart to jump and everything. Got bro mad excited. That if I was 20 years younger, shit, no 10, I'd get my ass back out there too. Jin Woo's about to leave because his sister is at home alone, and he says thank you for your time. And as he leaves, he tells Woo Jin that his assumption wasn't incorrect, that he wasn't the one that took care of the monsters inside the double dungeon. Then Jin Woo leaves and it's just these two, and he's talking about how after magic and healing started coming out, he thought he was going to be able to restore his youth. He was wrong, and no matter how far things advance, you can't restore age. But the top 5 guilds are increasing their power as we speak, and their strength is equal to the entire nation's military power. If the Hunter Association falls, it's chaos everywhere. He reminds him that he is the chairman, but he says, yeah, I believe that I was needed if the association was to live long and prosper. That was just a worthless thought. As he thinks about Jin Woo's statement, hunters must stay in the dungeon. He cancels their appointments for the rest of the day. They can just dip off and go take a drink. So they give us a flashback of Hwang Dong-soo fighting Jin Woo's dad, or really just getting his ass beat. He really looked cool as shit. Like, his hair is the best part. Then he goes to like crush him in the face, and it shows his hand about to hit him. As he wakes up in the hospital, he gave bro PTSD. Yo, having nightmares. Yo was like, damn, that shit wasn't a dream. He don't even get no time to rest, because the second he wake up, the cops pull up to ask him something directly. You said that nigga was a monster. Was he really? And he's like, yo, are you implying that I attacked an ordinary civilian? And he shows him video footage of him saving civilians from the damage of their fight. Says, I've never seen a monster helping out humans. So do you still believe he's a monster? He says, well, have you ever heard of humans coming out of gates? He really doesn't have a response to this. He says he's a monster, without a doubt. He's like, all right, bet. I gotta go fill out some paperwork. He asked what happened to him, and he said he disappeared right after the fight. And there's no way we about to catch him since he beat your ass. He's like, damn it. It's a humiliating defeat. As he remembers what he said to him. Never set foot in Korea ever again. And it's not for my son, but for you. Even after your death, you won't be able to close your eyes. He's like, can't even close my eyes. You dare threaten me? Bro's just getting mad. Like, don't worry about it. It's all good. I just need to get some equipment. After I heal back up, I'ma tear you apart. It cuts to Jinwoo searching the online store trying to find a new weapon for himself. Since he doesn't have enough money, he might have to sell this special orb he found. Doubles your magical output. But the problem is he still has to explain where he got it from, and nobody's gonna let it slide that E rank found this object that shouldn't even exist, and it's gonna take some time before he can get his S rank license, and nobody would suspect a thing. Or if he could just get an A rank dungeon under his belt, but nobody's recruiting an E rank hunter for that. And as he's clicking through online, he finds one, a force that is recruiting E rank hunters to go into A rank dungeons. So it cuts over to the chairman looking through Jinwoo's records, and they're trying to figure out when he got this power. For the last 4 years, he's literally been the weakest even among the E ranks. And he sees the logs of how frequently he would get injured, and Woo Jin says he couldn't quit because he was paying his mother's medical bills. He just starts to admire him even more, an E rank hunter risking his life to take care of his sick mother and little sister. He gets a report that Jinwoo just joined a raid team. He's like, damn, was he really just all talk and just about his money? As he looks into it, it says Jinwoo joined the mining team instead of the attack force. He's like, what the fuck? A S rank working as a miner, bro? I can't figure this nigga out. As it cuts over to this mining force at an open gate, Jinwoo introduces himself as the new E rank hunter. Bro got the miner fit. He says he's not experienced at this, but he's a physical combatant. The leader tells him not to get nervous and just work diligently. The attack force are the hunters that go inside to fight the monsters. Then the mining team is the ones that go in to gather the crystals. Then the collecting team collects the corpses of the monsters. They really put hella manpower into monetizing what's inside these dungeons. Jinwoo's just looking like, damn, so this is really a A rank. I wanted to see this shit with my own eyes, so I'm glad I decided to come. They say that this time the dungeon is especially deep. Then it cuts to the attack force who's already inside, and it's Choi Jong-in yelling for all the monsters to come out. He says, usually I'm not a fan of making a room too bright, as he starts to play with the flames of his cigarettes and really play with them and manipulate them into like circles to make whatever the fuck this is for blasting out this Kamehameha of fire. Even the monsters are just looking like, bro, what the fuck? He really turns the entire cave into a furnace, so much so that he has to call on the tanks to protect him and the rest of the company from the blowback of his own attack. Like, this firepower is crazy. He says, don't worry, I didn't overdo it. I didn't want to completely destroy the corpses. Everybody's just amazed because this nigga is amazing. He says, I will guide you all. The lady with the sensitive nose should be cautious of the burnt smell. Now the S-ranked attack force is about to come out the dungeon, and Jinwoo's just blending in as a miner so he can go in after them. Now they come out with the ultimate soldier leading them in Choi Jong-in, and Jinwoo ducks his head so he doesn't recognize him. But then everybody starts to notice the vice master of the guild, S-rank hunter Sha Hae-in. And Jinwoo can tell that she's at least on Choi Jong-in's level. She might even be on the same level as the chairman. While he's looking at her, she looks over in his direction. Damn. Jinwoo just blends in with the crowd, and she's confused because she knows she just felt a strong presence. Thought for a second that maybe the chairman came to see her, but he's too busy to be doing shit like that. She still felt whoever it was disappear without a trace. It just shows her sneezing with her sensitive nose. Now Jinwoo's about to head in the dungeon with the miners. The leader is explaining how the dungeons are ranked, and that it's not determined by the strength of the monsters in there, but the measurement of magical energy coming from the gate. With the energy is higher, the rank is going to be higher. Jinwoo's just listening to his whole explanation as they walk inside. He notices this wind in the dungeon that's really just a wave of energy coming from the boss. The other miners are just looking at him like, why did our boss just hire an E rank? He's just gonna slow us down, yada yada yada, and Jinwoo can just hear everything they're saying. But then one of them bumps into him on purpose and says, let's pick up the pace and not to just stand in the way when he's walking. Jinwoo just look at this nigga like, yo, do not let this miner shit fool you, twin. I Swiss cheese your ass. Been itching to use this bitch, twin. Yo say, yeah, never mind. It happens from time to time, but big face ass, bitch ass nigga. He's just like, damn, bro, did I really just get bitched by an E rank? And the collectors start to come back with the corpses of the monsters, because in addition to all the crystals they mine, even the dead bodies yield precious items that they can use in the real world. Jinwoo's just looking at how profitable all this shit is. So the routine is the attack force comes in, beats all the monsters but the boss. The miners and collectors come in and do their job, and once they clear everything out, then the attack force comes back in and beats the boss. Jinwoo's like, what if the boss leaves its nest? He says, well, those situations are rare, but each and everybody in here is gonna die. He's like, aren't you worried about that shit at all? But he says, nah, I've been working here for 3 years and that shit never happened once. He's like, I guess ignorance is bliss, because even though the boss is dormant, he can sense the energy is stronger than that Metis nigga he fought. And the fat Vulcan too. He's really just impressed how the A-ranked raid team handles these monsters. Then Jinwoo gets to work mining the crystals, and everybody's just in awe at how fast he's doing it. He don't got no sleeves, he got the guns out, bro's going crazy. He's really like doing their whole job in minutes. They say he's a miner blessed by the heavens. And they work till lunchtime and everybody goes to eat. Jinwoo says he already ate so he can go off on his own. The second everybody leaves, he just drops his shit and dips further into the dungeon to look at the monster. And it's a giant fucking rock red-eye monster thing. Definitely looks like a cyclops. Jinwoo can tell that it's stronger than Metis. His current strength would be enough to take care of it. He's thinking about what to do, like, should he just take it out? But if he does, the dungeon's gonna start closing and all those hunters are gonna lose a bunch of money. While he's trying to figure out what he's gonna do, behind him says, what are you doing over there? And he starts. Bro tried to just freeze and act natural. They said, I asked you a question. What are you doing? Jinwoo just sighs and said, phew, that was a close call. She just says she got lost and somehow ended up there, and asks him if he's a part of the mining team because he's getting close to where the boss is. You gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. Jinwoo's just surprised because she really snuck up behind him, like he didn't sense her at all. Then she's also shocked as well because she could have sworn that he was holding a knife in his hand, but it just disappeared. But she says, if you wake up the boss, a lot of people are gonna die. And he's like, yeah, that's my bad. Starts to go back, but as they pass each other, she can sense the max aura. She can smell the greatness. She's like, wait, hold up a second. Gets a good whiff, a nice waft of excellence. And she's like excited as shit seeing that he has no stench. She grabs his name tag and asks if he's really a hunter. She's already getting into the personal space like crushed. She sees that he is a hunter and his name is Sung Jin Woo. She just says, never mind, just be careful. This dungeon is huge after all. So Jin Woo's just like, alright. When he gets back, they're teasing him about meeting her and say that she has a unique physiology where she gets some sort of scent from hunters. She just told Jin Woo that he didn't have it. That's why she checked his name tag. And he wonders if it's something similar to the voices in the monsters' heads that are constantly telling them to kill humans, but they don't tell them to kill him. I don't smell like other hunters, and the monsters don't get a voice telling them that I'm a human. It has to be because I'm a player, that I exist to receive the system's benefits.